how I get used to introducing this. This is Believe in the Arizona Cardinals. Is also Easy Sports Talk. I'm Javon Adams. They call me J Love, and that dude over there, who's much cooler than me. I mean, he got freshly shaped. Man, what's up? He's Ed Easy Smith. He played not only professional baseball, but he also played in the National Football League. What's good, man?
I put that paint in the beard, man. That's why you better recognize.
I want to talk. We're going to talk about the Jimmy G situation, and we're going to start doing these a little bit more frequently. Sometimes you have to listen to those that put little bugs in your ears, and they have the best for you. One of the things I got to do for you, and I'm going to tell you a quick story, so y'all bear with me, but you'll feel this. So I had a show. I got to get you to try to take some 5-hour energy or something like that. So the next show that I have, you can come on out and check it out. And because I'm an MC, for those who don't know, I'm an MC in addition to all kinds of other stuff that I do. But so before my wife and we headed out to the show, it was this past Saturday. And Ed, as soon as I walked through the door, Ed sends me a text and says, "Hey, man, you asked me, you said, what time do you go on? I ain't going to make it."
No, I told you,
I feel you.
I let you know my family put me through it that day, bro. I had every intention.
I know
after the Saturday show, I went right from the Saturday show over to my mom's. Man, it was 8 something before I even walked in the door here. And bro, when I say they put me through it, because I like my peace and quiet, bro, they put me through it. So
we'll talk about that offline.
Yeah, we got you.
So as we were walking out the door, my wife turns to me. My lovely wife, Nika, turns to me and says, "You should have let me paint that up." And I said, let's go on. Let's just go into this show. Let's go on to this show. So, all right. So having said all that, so we cover the Arizona Cardinals here, and so not only in our local radio show, but also when it comes to what we do with Believe in the Arizona Cardinals as well. And some interesting news came about today. I mentioned on our last Believe in the Arizona Cardinals how I was a little bit slightly more optimistic about the Arizona Cardinals because the Arizona Cardinals were going to have to compete with maybe the malaise that could happen with the Los Angeles Rams, but also maybe with the 49ers with their defense as stout as it is, and we know about their running game, but having Trey Lance being that quarterback that's going to be anointed because Jimmy Garoppolo, they said in the offseason, they said as soon as the season was over, he ain't coming back. But that's changed because he is now coming back. He is the highest paid backup in the league, restructured his contract, $6 million, no trade clause. They can't tag him at the end of the season. That changes a little bit for me how I look at this season. Does that change anything for you, or am I just crazy here?
Well, until they go back, and I say back to Jimmy G because obviously they're saying Trey Lance is the man right now. Jimmy G has obviously seems like he's accepted his role. He had that offseason back or with the shoulder surgery. So, it's one of those things where he pretty much, he sees the writing on the wall, but he also sees, Jay, what's in front of him. If the 49ers were forced to trade him somewhere right now, who knows where his landing spot would be? Because they're getting to the point now with all that previous guaranteed money because of that contract situation, they were going to just have to unload him. Either that or release him, but then you still have to pay him, or you don't necessarily have to pay him, but he can then go where he wants to go. Yes. So it was kind of a double-edged sword for the San Francisco 49ers. You keep him around and try to play nice for now, and also he's a great security blanket just in case. Just in case something happens, whether Trey Lance is just not that good or he gets injured. Who would you rather have sitting behind him than Jimmy G, right? And at the same time, like I said, you don't have to just throw him out there for nothing and, who knows where he might land. Then the other security for Jimmy G, he got a lot of things put in that contract, meaning no trades and, they can't franchise him after the season. So after this year, if he sits and he's patient Jimmy, he gets to go where he wants to go. And it now becomes not a shotgun wedding. We don't have to rush them down the aisle because in 6 months, something's coming, Now
so
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because again, it's different. He had the way that Trey Lance must have performed, I mean, it was spotty in terms of the preseason, right? But being at those practices, they must have saw something because they could have let him go at any time. At any time. And they must have saw something that came to him and said, "Hey man, what you up to? What you doing? What you doing, big head? What you up to?" And I think he had the leverage in terms of this. And so that's one of those situations where this might be an example for organizations moving forward where they can look and say, we know we want to install whoever this player is in this position, but we better wait to make sure that this is what we want.
Well, this is really unique because a couple things happened, Jay. If he never had that surgery in the offseason, they would have found a taker for him very early after the season ended. And then the other thing is, they made that move to move up and get Trey Lance a few years ago, and they almost look silly if they don't at least get him in there and give him a try right now. This wasn't a third or fourth round pick. This is a dude they stepped up, gave away assets to get in the first round.
Yes.
And they kind of look silly if they never get to a point where they at least get him on the field to find out what he is or what he isn't. So this is an opportunity for them. And here's the thing. If he comes out here and balls, then they look like geniuses because, hey, this is why we did this all along. And now if he comes out and just looks straight up like doo-doo, they can say, well, this is why we kept Jimmy G. We were smart. We were looking at our future and we didn't quite see. So they're covering all their bases. At the same time, keep Jimmy happy while he's there. Now, I'll tell you what's going to be an interesting piece here, though, Jay.
Yes.
Is now that he's projected to stay, what are some of his comrades, his biggest supporters within the locker room? Because George Kittle has not been shy about how much he loves Jimmy. Jimmy's the man, but they all respect the direction of the organization. That's when you think he's going out the door, right?
Yes,
all of a sudden he's staying, and now, hey, that's like looking at somebody's ex. They broke up, right? But she didn't move out the house. She just stayed there with him. And now all this niceness and everything you've been talking, right? Now all of a sudden everybody's got to figure out, man, what do I say? How do we make this work? Hey, yeah. Jimmy's still the man. But we love Trey,
Indeed. So it's going to be interesting to watch. So I just wanted to get your thoughts because, again, this is going to be interesting how it plays out, man. You just never know. And I think that locker room, maybe in listening on the way home, and I think, tell me if you think I'm wrong before we sign out of this, is the Montana and Young. And I don't think it's quite to that extent, because we don't know what we have, or they don't know what they have in Trey Lance. But it could be one of those things where it gets a little bit sticky, especially if they don't come out the gate slow. Will it be like the Sandman at the Apollo, where they come out and get that hook and pull them out real quick? It's going to be interesting to see how they manage that.
I think you have to have a quick hook, depending on how good or bad that he plays, and that's the only time you have the hook if he's playing that bad. Because this roster, Jay, and we know it from just previous history. Last year, Jimmy took him to a playoff win in Dallas, went up to Green Bay, you win one. Just a few short years ago, he took him to a Super Bowl and was a second halfway from winning that. The big problem is now, if Trey, this is a roster that is ready for playoff / Super Bowl contention. The only thing that will be holding you back is your quarterback. And you can't have Jimmy G sitting there and have Lance scuffling, trying to figure this out, because then you do risk the possibility of losing that locker room. If dudes are sitting around, Kittle, different guys, and they're like, what the hell are we doing? We got Jimmy sitting there, and this dude can't even complete a first, a 5-yard out or whatever. So that's when it becomes really, really complicated. But if he comes out and he shows growth from the very beginning, you ride with it. But like I said, it's going to be a short hook because of the expectations of this team.
Yeah, so thank y'all for checking in with us for a little bit, and shout out to Mark Twain, True Narrative Media. He put the bug in my ear. I knew it, but sometimes it takes somebody who has your best interest at heart to say, "This is, do this, man, do this." So shout out to Mark Twain. So True Narrative Media. Shout out to Michael Turner for checking in as well. So we'll be doing this a little bit more frequently, sharing our thoughts, what we got going on behalf of the one and only Ed Easy Smith. Easy Sports Talk radio show. It is every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon here in the Phoenix area. EasySportsTalk.com is the website. And then also, of course, every week, since we covered the Arizona Cardinals, Believe in the Arizona Cardinals. That's BLEAV in the Arizona Cardinals. Put it in wherever you find your podcast. And also make sure you are, you can also check us out on the Sirius XM app. And so until next time, as we always like to say around this time, you can
be easy out there. Hey, man, we too busy young man, bro. Getting it in.
That's what we do.